Welcome, guys. I am so excited. I have been waiting for this tournament pretty much since the last ones ended, which was almost a year ago at this point. It is CALLOUS Invitational 4, finally. We're here, we're here, we're here. I could talk about it for a long time. These, of course, are the play-ins, and I'm just going to give a very brief rundown of how that works. Most of you probably already know this information, but there are two separate 8-man play-in brackets. They do not overlap whatsoever, and they are single elimination matches. So basically, you have to win 3 of them. You start out in the round of 8, then the round of 4, then the round of 2. And if you win your group, you are in the CALLOUS Invitational 4 main event. So I'm going to introduce the players real quick, and then I'm so excited to actually see the games. I have been waiting all day to narrate this, and I've been waiting months and months and months for this tournament to come. I cannot wait. So we have Melle. He's a German player. He is perpetually underrated. A GSC main, but a solid ADV. It's probably his second best tier. It is a crime that he was not picked up in SPL as a GSC starter last year. And if he is not picked up this coming year, I'm going to riot and quit Pokemon. This guy is way too good to not get picked up on a team. Moving it back to ADV, he has successfully played through my play-ins once before. That was back in CALLOUS Invitational 2. And in the main event, he had an underwhelming 1-2 performance, but nevertheless, nothing takes away from the fact that he did play through the play-ins, and he is, of course, looking to do that again successfully. His opponent, Sky Kael, is a Brazilian player. He was an ADV SPL staple back in 2011, 12, 13-ish, way back in the day. He's an older guy like myself. He's married like myself, so he's a busy dude. He does not always play Mons for long stretches. He has, over the years, taken a number of breaks and then come back, kind of sporadic activity. But in recent times, he has been back for a little while and has been focused and has been playing a lot. And when he's at the top of his game, he is a dangerous player. He was an SPL ADV starter for years and years for a reason, and we'll see if he can turn on some of that magic today against Melle. So with all that out of the way, it is a best of 3 set. The very, very first match of CALLOUS Invitational 4. Let's get started. Melle is on the bottom side and Kael is on the top. It is a meta lead for both players. And it's a switch to Zapdos thinking there'll be an Earthquake, which there is. So Kael is going to get in there for free. T-Tar comes in. Pretty safe for most things. It doesn't take Thunderbolt super well. Kael actually goes for Toxic into the Toxic immunity, so he knew there would be some kind of switch. So a great play, but he's not rewarded. That was an unlucky Toxic miss early on. Focus Punch, which Kael takes reasonably well. 55% is not great, but could have been worse. No lefties for Kael, so he might be a Choice Bander himself. Oh, no way. It would have done more if he were a Choice Bander. So I'm not sure. I guess it was a Lumberry on the meta. He did go for Explosion there, and he did hit Scarm. 70% not bad, and Zapdos comes in, so he is trying to prevent that spike from coming down. Jolteon comes in on a Thunderbolt. It was already at 100, of course, since it just came in for the first time, so the Volt Absorb doesn't matter, but for the future, it can absorb those from Zapdos. Thunderbolt 28% is really underwhelming. And Hidden Power 25% is not much better. We might be looking at a bulky Zapdos here based on how well it took that Thunderbolt from Jolteon. Melle is going to BP out. Here comes T-Tar. We saw Focus Punch earlier. We might be looking at a Choice Bander, and that's a second Toxic miss for Kael. He's gotten pretty damn unlucky. Only 7 turns in with a double miss already. Flygon comes in thinking it'll be Rock Slide, and indeed it is. 24% from what looks like a bulky Flygon as well. Gengar going to come in to check it. Gengar is one of the very best Flygon counters. And Fire Blast there I think was aimed at Skarmory, but hitting Gengar works just as well. 47% with really no drawback there is a nice chunk. And here comes T-Tar, and I would not be surprised if it were a Pursuit Tar. It makes a lot of sense to me based on what's been shown for Kael that he would want Gengar out of the way. Hidden Power Grass, I would think we're going to see a Pursuit here. And I am totally wrong. It is actually simply a Rock Slide. But that will do the trick. Gengar is gone. And that brings us to a 5-5 situation on reveals on both sides. Jolteon coming in looking for the revenge kill. And Kael is not going to allow that. He's going to go straight to Flygon. It is the obvious Thunderbolt that, of course, is going to blank on the ground type. but he may have HP Ice. We'll see if Kael plays around that or not. He switches to Zapdos just to be safe. And Baton Pass there. That doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't have HP Ice, but he doesn't go for it there. And he again brings in his Choice Band Tower, which has done a lot of damage throughout this game. Zapdos this time opts to stay in for Thunderbolt, and it is just Rock Slide again. So Zapdos, even if it is bulky like I suspect it may have been, is not going to survive a Choice Band Rock Slide from T-Tower. Down that goes. And we've got ourselves, oh, it's actually not Choice Banded. He's got lefties there, so that Meadow is fragile for Kael to take the Focus Punch that badly. So maybe it was a mixed mat. I don't know what the hell it was, but the Brick Break does get the revenge kill on the Tyranitar nevertheless. So we've got ourselves a 4-4. Only one unrevealed. It belongs to Kael. Here's Starmie. There's Ice Beam, critical hit. I don't think it matters there. He could have just followed up with Surf or whatever. Kael only made that switch to fodder off, and now he goes to Aerodactyl here. It'll outspeed Starmie, but I don't know that it'll one-hit KO it. Mel's going to get out of the way anyway. And Earthquake is the right prediction. That's going to hit Meta on the way in. Skarm is a free switch here if he wants that. But Kael goes for the Earthquake anyway, and Melle leaves it in, and down goes the Metagross. So we've got ourselves a 3-3 situation. Now the Skarmory comes in. Aerodactyl, of course, Choice Band locked on the Earthquake. Salamence comes in. Intimidate unlikely to matter here. And now a Toxic Miss from Melle. Every single Toxic in this game, 3 of them, have all not connected, unluckily. Fire Blast for Kael. Critical hit does not matter there. Skarm goes down. Got ourselves a 2-3 with Kael in the lead, but Starmie here looks very dangerous. Ice Beam here would KO both Salamence and Flygon, and we already know that he has it, so really it comes down to whether or not the Aerodactyl can kill this Starmie, and I think that's going to require either a Rock Slide flinch or a critical hit here, so that's what Kael's going to have to go for. Here's Rock Slide, no crit. Does he get the flinch? He does not. Now, granted, it is Hydro Pump, not Surf. Hydro Pump easily, between the flinch chance and the imperfect accuracy, could have missed there. So there was definitely a variance-heavy turn there. However, that is the turn that decides the game because Flygon has 0 chance to beat Starmie here unless it's that H-Class set with Endurance Salic Berry. But nobody in their right mind would run that. Kael doesn't run that. And there is the Ice Beam for the knockout on the Flygon. Game 1 goes to Melle, but it really did all come down to that turn 22 there with the Rock Slide and the Hydro Pump respectively. Had Rock Slide crit, had Rock Slide flinched, had Hydro Pump missed, this game would have gone to Kael in all likelihood. I mean, I guess it would have been a speed tie between the Aerodactyl and the Jolteon. So I guess it comes down at that point to which hidden power the Jolteon has, and we never did see. If he has HP Ice, maybe he can get the Flygon. If he has HP Grass, he's absolutely dead to the Flygon. So I'm not sure what would have happened there. Not a guaranteed win, even if that turn 22 had gone the way of Kael. But as it turns out, it went the way of Melle, and that is going to seal Kael's fate. So game 1 to Melle, but man, we have so many more games to come, it is not even funny. There are hundreds of games over the course of this tournament. Join my Discord channel, link in the description so you can catch all these games live as they happen. And in the meantime, let us move on to game 2.